You're an Apple guy, right? Like your phone is an iPhone, you have an iPad.
Oh, I was going to say I prefer bananas, like if it's apples or bananas, but I would say either are fine. But
yeah, no, yes. Like Apple products.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've got the iPhone, I've got the iPad. I haven't converted to the like Apple laptop.
Right, the MacBook.
But
yeah. Why?
Why do you ask?
Well, I was talking to someone the other day. So I have a friend who has an iPhone, and it's like an iPhone 7 or something. Like it's not, it's not like the brand new flashy iPhone, but it's also not like, I'm not talking about like an iPhone 5. It's it's like a newer-ish iPhone. Right. Might even be an iPhone 8. Anyways, doesn't matter. And they were like, they were facing the dreaded, I have too much on my phone. I don't have enough storage. I can't, nothing's working properly thing.
That's happened to me.
And so, so then the thing was like, okay, well, I'm going to hook it up to my computer and I'm going to, back up all my dump all the photos and videos and whatever else I have on there. Well, they have a brand new Windows laptop. And as such, it has Windows 11 on it. I don't know if that's here or there. I don't know if it makes a difference. Anyways, they're having compatibility issues, connectivity issues with the laptop and the iPhone. And which I have no doubt this is an issue with like on Apple's part. Because I was thinking back, and I don't know if you remember, like, did you have an iPod? Did you ever have an iPod?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I did.
So I never had an iPod. I had an MP3 player. I had a couple different MP3 players, but never an iPod. And I just remember there being a time where, like, on MP3 players back in the day, and we're going like, oh gosh, 14 years ago. You would hook your MP3 player up to your computer, and you would drag and drop the songs you wanted into the folder, and then now they were on your MP3 player.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
And I just remember friends of mine who had like iPods, and it was like, no, the only way that I can put music on my iPod is with iTunes.
Right.
And it has to be on my Apple.
Yes.
And it has to be, or no, didn't have to be on an Apple. You could do it with a Windows, but you still had to download iTunes. That was the only way. And I don't know if there was a way to I don't even know if there was a way to import your other music into iTunes at that point. Like, I think it was just like, oh yeah, you own the song already? Well, it doesn't matter there, You're going to have to buy it on iTunes if you want it on your iPod.
I had the iPod, so I'm trying to remember. I think you maybe could luck out if you owned a purchased CD. I think there was something about ripping it onto your iTunes.
Right, okay, maybe.
But there was... Yeah, there was some hazy stuff where, if it wasn't, it wasn't always easy.
This was also in the same days as, when Apple was like, oh, you want to search the internet? Well, here's Safari. And that was it. You could not, on an Apple machine, you could not add Google Chrome, you couldn't add Firefox, you couldn't add anything. It was Safari, and it was Apple Maps, and that's it. Yeah, bastards. Anyways, hello and welcome. That's literally just like my TED talk about how much Apple sucks. That's I've got there's nowhere to go.
No point.
Yeah.
Well,
no.
Well, where to go from here? Welcome to the Movie Men podcast. I am Peter, the Apple hater. The Apple products hater is Brady. And we are here today to talk about a 1996 film called Space Jam, which was the next part of our journey where we go in time and year by year we have films and we have votes, and you tell us what to vote, whether you are the layperson or a supercharged Patreon supporter where you get bonus votes, and you decide what movie we review. And we had a few options this week, and Space Jam won.
How are you feeling? Like, not even necessarily just about Space Jam winning, but like, how are you feeling right now? How are you feeling?
I couldn't be happier that you asked me that, because I wanted to go through these options with you, and the voters will remember what they were.
Okay.
But no, I'm quite serious. Like, there was some interesting options. So we've got Homeward Bound 2, which that didn't fare well. It got it got some votes, but the least of all. And
I mean, it's the second one.
It is the second one, and I was personally curious because we've reviewed the first one. So if the listener hasn't heard that one, dig up on Podbean, click the search button, hit Homeward Bound, and you can find it.
Or anywhere else that you get your podcasts.
Yes, but Homeward Bound 2, I was curious, is it as good? I've seen it like 20 years ago, so I couldn't tell you definitively. I've got a hint, an idea that I think it was no, but I didn't know.
Yeah, I will quench that curiosity for you.
Okay.
It's not a bad movie, but if you are putting it face to face with the damn near masterpiece that is the first Homeward Bound, it doesn't, it doesn't hold its own.
Right. The other option, or another option, was the Jack film, which I know you and I have both watched recently. Like, we've watched it within the time that we've watched, or we've been podcasting, so it's within the last couple of years.
Last 4 years.
And I felt strongly about that. Like, if that had won, I would have gone, okay, this is Robin Williams, so what's not to like, and breaking it down. So some good stuff there.
Yeah.
A film that I don't mean this as a critique, but I have never even heard, didn't even know it existed, found out it existed when I looked at our podcast's post of movie options, Mars Attack, and it's not even like, oh, I've never heard of this and no one voted for it. Like, it was pretty popular, like it was the second most vote getting film, but also like a lot of people, and like people that I went, oh, like, you voted for this. I am shocked, and I'm just even more intrigued about what this even is.
So have you looked at the cast?
Somewhat. I couldn't tell you who it is, but I remember looking at it and going, oh, that's interesting. Like, it has a notable cast.
Yeah, so it's a Tim Burton movie.
Right. Oh, right. Yes, that does sound familiar.
And it's Jack Nicholson.
Right, yes.
Glenn Close. Pierce Brosnan.
Right.
Danny DeVito.
Can I pause you for a second? Like, this, it's weird to say Pierce Brosnan because I feel like in more modern day, I've seen him in a more wide range of things, like, Mamma Mia and just different things where he's branched out. But this is like sexy James Bond Pierce Brosnan.
This is during James Bond. Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pierce Brosnan, Danny DeVito, Martin Short, Sarah Jessica Parker.
What?
Michael J. Fox.
Now, before you go on, like, is this an animated film or are these faces in there?
No, these are faces.
Faces!
Tom Jones. Natalie Portman. Jack Black.
Wow.
And then a smattering of others as I kind of like go down. But those are the ones that are like gonna stick out as like, oh, holy crap, and another, and oh, holy crap, and another. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah.
And
I threw it in there and I was like, okay, there's no shot in hell.
Right.
There's no way. Like, it's a comedy. It's a goofy.
Yeah.
It's not the typical, like, if you looked at it, you probably wouldn't think, oh, this is a Tim Burton movie. Kind of in the same way that, like, you wouldn't necessarily look at Pee-wee's Big Adventure and think, oh, it's Tim Burton. Like, it doesn't have that Halloween gothic kind of feel to it. But it's so I threw it up there, and I was like, "There's no way is anyone going to even look at this." And there was a period of time during this vote where I wasn't sure which way it was going to go.
Mm-hmm.
And that's inspiring. Yeah, inspiring. Jack Nicholson as a president, by the way.
A president?
Yeah. And I would say I can't think of a worse president, but anyways. So it did surprisingly well in our vote.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
but
I would you should check it out.
I think I should at some point. And
yeah.
But obviously we should get to it. So, Space Jam 1.
Yeah. So since you asked, I'm feeling
oh, sorry. I'm so
prepared.
Sorry. Prepared? What do you mean?
Prepared for how when you need to so you've never seen this movie prior to now.
Right.
Had you seen Looney Tunes Back in Action, like the Brendan Fraser?
No.
Steve Martin one? No, okay.
No.
So anyways, you know how when you prepare yourself for I don't know, you're going to the doctor and he's going to read some test results to you or whatever, or you're you're just mentally, something's coming and you're or you're mentally preparing yourself for an exam, or you're mentally preparing yourself for a family dinner, family Christmas or something you don't want to be a part of, whatever it is, right? You're getting in the zone. I feel prepared for you to not only try to destroy my childhood, but also, and I say this as affectionately as possible,
okay,
I am prepared for you to make a total ass of yourself here when you do what I'm sure is going to be denounce the wonderful film Space Jam. Because it's listen, I watched it the other night with Brienne and the movie ended and she's like, "So what do you think?" And I'm like, "Oh, what do you mean? It's Space Jam?" And she's like, "No, do you think Pete will like it?" And I was like, I don't know. And she's like, "There's no way he will." And I'm just like, why? Because it's a great 90s fun movie that he hasn't seen yet, which means he's going to show. The only part he plays is showing up and saying, this was a lose for me. This was a bad film. And so I was like, oh my God, you're right. You're right. He's going to try to destroy this. So I am hopeful,
right,
that I'm completely wrong,
right,
but I'm also feeling prepared to. Mm-hmm. I don't even know prepared to defend it, just prepared to roll my eyes and be like, ugh.
Right. Well, and listen, I feel my role on this podcast, I'm not going to spill the beans here. I might feel one of my roles on this podcast is always I plug previous episodes and try and entice the listener to check it out. But I will do that once again here. And I will say, we have a historical context to what you're saying, where insert blank Bill Murray classic film with Ghostbusters. And check out the episode. It's still a good episode, but I didn't like it. I was like, I don't know. So I get.
Which I still feels I'm still waiting for Ashton Kutcher to jump out and be like, ha, punked. I don't see how that's possible, but it's fine.
But my point is, I understand where you're coming from, where that is, you have to prepare for every possible angle, but.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
so let's do some trivia.
Let's do some trivia. Here we go.
Yeah.
I've got a question for you.
You didn't. You removed my opportunity to do anything there. You're like, no. I'm taking back control of him making auditory outbursts during the end of the trivia song. To hell with him. Okay, that's fine.
I'm sorry. Did I cut you off too soon? I did let it play.
I was thinking about it. I ultimately decided not to.
That's fair. That is fair.
it would have been nice
music-
to have the opportunity.
The music is always there. Next time I will give it a second or two to breathe.
Yep.
Just in
Yeah.
case.
Okay.
Just in case.
Okay.
So it's going to be one question this week. Some little tidbitty stuff. As far as Warner Brothers animation films go, it was the highest grossing until the Lego Movie in 2014. So that's like a 18 year period of
Not to be scoffed at.
Yeah. Grossed over 230 million worldwide. And by clear, it's the highest grossing basketball film of all time and highest grossing
Wow.
Looney Tunes film of all time. I feel like those are pretty niche things, so it's not like there's a huge category for either, but I still think it's still worth saying.
It's worth saying that there's been two major Hollywood Looney Tune films since, and none of them have captured the same box office as this one.
Yeah. That's fair.
One being being like a
that's-
reboot.
Yeah.
So
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, there is merit to that. So that's a good point. But my question for you, before Wayne Knight, who I always recognize him. I think it's Newman he plays on Seinfeld, and he's the shaving cream Jurassic Park guy. That's how I identified him. But Wayne Knight.
Yeah. I'm more in the Jurassic Park camp.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Before Wayne Knight was cast as Stan, the director Joe Pytka, I believe is the way, I hope that's how you pronounce it. The director had some initial choices. He actually had two specific people in mind. And I'm going to give you three names, and you got to figure out which one's the fake one. Which one's the fake one here? There's two real ones and one fake one. So I want you to tell me.
Okay. All right.
So, two of these were his first choices. And just for context, the studios rejected both, and that's why he moved on and went to Wayne Knight. But we've got Neil Patrick Harris. We've got
in 1996. Okay.
Chevy Chase.
Okay.
We've got Michael J. Fox.
Okay. Just the three, and I have to find
Yes.
the lie.
The lie.
The lie. Okay, Michael J. Fox. I'm just trying to think of like ages. Right? Like how old Wayne Knight is? Oh, I don't even know.
I'd say probably like in his 40s, maybe there. I'm just guessing. Late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah. But I'm wondering how old he is now. Like,
Right.
here I've got just the IMDb for this movie.
Yeah.
So now he's
So
66.
he's 66 now, so take away 25 years, he's 41-ish.
Yeah. Can you look up how old's Michael J. Fox?
Oh, I'm going to guess he would have been 20 there, but I will look it up.
Okay. Because he strikes me as quite a bit younger.
So he's only 6 years younger. He's 60 right now.
60.
Which
Okay.
would have made him...
Really?
What? That can't be
Okay.
right. 35 at the time?
Yeah, okay.
I guess, because, I
It
guess
makes
I'm
sense
thinking
if like you
1980s.
play it out with Back to the Future.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess he would have been that age. Yeah. Okay.
Right? So he's,
For some reason,
he's
I thought he was younger.
26. Yeah, so he's 24 when he does the first Back to the Future.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that works. And then how old Chevy Chase is like older than both of those by a significant chunk.
If I was a betting man, I'd guess it's closer to Wayne Knight, obviously. I didn't think it was that
I think
far.
he's got to be pushing 80 now.
Yeah, he's surprisingly, he's 78.
78, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Wayne Knight is 66, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what was the other one? You get Neil Patrick Harris. How old's Neil Patrick Harris? He's gotta
Doogie
be
Howser.
only in his 50s. now.
So he's 50. So he would have been around 25 at the time. So, yeah, I mean, close to Michael J. Fox by about 10 years.
About 10 years. So either way, there's a 20-year swing between him or 25-year swing between him and Chevy Chase.
That's true.
That's a big age gap, man. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a look here. Well, so Bill Murray's in this movie.
That being said, yes, there's a big age gap, but he also was like a medical graduate when he was like 11 years old or wherever that show worked. So maybe, anything's possible for Neil Patrick.
Yeah. Chevy Chase. Bill Murray's in this movie, and Bill Murray has Saturday Night Live origins.
Oh, okay.
And so does Chevy Chase. So there's maybe something there, but they also famously don't get along. So, I mean, maybe that's a thing. Maybe he was going to be, but then found out Bill Murray was in the movie and had no interest. Neil Patrick Harris. I think Neil Patrick Harris is just too young. To because in this movie, Michael Jordan is 33 when he shoots this. And so having Neil Patrick Harris, who is how old now?
50. 48, I think, but 50. Essentially 50.
Right. And so he would have been in his 30s at the time.
Yeah.
38, essentially. No.
35-ish.
35.
Yeah.
So the only one... Okay, I'm going to go with Chevy Chase and Michael J. Fox only because I don't think it makes sense for this role to be played by someone who is 7 years younger at the time than Michael Jordan, who is noticeably a kid playing the role.
Right.
So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say Neil Patrick Harris is the lie.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Just from what was read on the internet, so it has to be true, but it was from a somewhat legitimate source. Michael J. Fox and Chevy Chase.
Wikipedia.
There was some familiarity when the director had worked with them, of all things, on a Doritos commercial. So, I guess obviously that wasn't the reason he picked them, but there was some familiarity there. But ultimately Warner Brothers rejected the idea for both actors, and then that's when he moved on to Wayne Knight. So
see, and that's interesting because I knew of someone who was supposed to play that role.
Oh.
And neither of the people you said, none of the three people you said, is that person. So that's fascinating.
Sean Connery, you say?
No, Jason Alexander. Yeah, so another Seinfeld tie there. But I guess he just turned it down or wasn't interested or had scheduling conflicts. I don't know. He was too busy doing
it's funny
KFC
how I
commercials.
It's funny how I could see both Jason Alexander or Knight playing it. I feel like they both have the skill set.
Yeah, out of all of them, that's the one that makes the most sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
Well,
First impressions.
My
first impression of this film, I grew up with it. I had a VHS of it. Certainly, I think that's playing a factor.
Of course.
There is a nostalgia thing happening there. Having said that, I mean, this is, especially when you factor in the time that this movie's made, it's funny, it's entertaining, it's Looney Tunes at their finest. It feels like Looney Tunes. You've got the hottest star in basketball at the time with Michael Jordan. You've got all these other NBA players. who are in it playing themselves. You've got original songs being written for the movie, and not just like an original song, but like an original song that slaps. Like it is a good song. It's not just like, oh yeah, the Space Jam song. No, the Space Jam song is great. And so I don't know, it's got heart. It's got a gratuitous cameo from Bill Murray that is ridiculous, but it's just so like it's fantastic. I don't know. It's a really good movie, man. It's a really good movie, and it holds up. Those are my initial thoughts.
My only thing that I want to ask about your initial thoughts, do you know much about his actual retirement? Like, is Michael Jordan as a human being?
No. I looked it up when we were watching the movie, and I was like, did he play baseball? Because I'm not a sports guy, right? I don't know anything about sports really. But everybody knows Michael Jordan.
Yeah, of course.
And so I was just curious, like, is this something he ever did? And from the like 20 seconds of skimming that I did, it looks like the answer to that was no. But yeah, I really don't know anything about his retirement.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So I'll give you my initial impression. I want to touch on this. I geeked out hardcore because this is where, film and sport align for me. So I'm more of the sports guy of the two of us. I'm not sure where I land on the whole LeBron versus MJ, which might get some people heated. I'd probably lean towards LeBron, but that's a story for another day. As far as his retirement,
we got to do the reboot then.
We got to do the reboot.
Yeah. Okay.
As far as his retirement, Michael Jordan's, I think it's incredibly. It's unique isn't strong enough a word, and I can't find the word that I'm wanting. But it's so funny how they made a film around this real life event that he went through. So to give some context, so this movie came out in 1996. And 3 years before, at the age of 30, Michael Jordan announced his retirement. And
I was thinking that's like, even watching the movie when I was like, oh, he's supposed to be 33 here. I'm like I don't know enough about basketball.
Right.
Baseball, I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, as long as the guy's knees are still good, I guess you could have a professional 40-year-old baseball player.
Sure. Right.
I know that football, they're typically younger. Like, I know that.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, how old's Tom Brady?
He's an outlier. He's either 40 or 41. So he's like incredibly rare.
Yeah. But and that's my point, is that I know that he's like not super old by like old standards, but that he's like a fossil as far as football goes. Yep. But I didn't know with basketball, right? So I was looking at it going, 33 seems young to me. To be, like, you could be 33, had done really well in your 20s, and now be kind of washed up and nobody cares.
Sure.
But you're Air Jordan.
Just to give some context on this event and the timeline that's involved with it. So, yeah, like, he's 30. Not even just as a human being, but as an athlete, he was in his prime. He had just come off a three-peat. So he had just won 3 championships in a row, which is incredible just to do at all. Just to win 1 championship in any professional sporting league is an accomplishment. To do it twice is incredible and unlikely. To do it 3 times in a row, which is heavily influenced by his presence on his team because he was incredible. But he literally retired after winning the championship 3 times in a row at his most peak physical time of his life. And his father was killed, and a lot of people think that it was related to that his father wanted him to... Oh, he didn't want him to play baseball, but he wanted baseball was his father's kind of more preferred sport. So it was speculated that, Michael Jordan wanted to kind of just take up the baseball bat and kind of pursue that while he still could physically. He had some mixed results, and the most baller thing about...
Oh, so he did play some baseball.
He did for about a year, maybe 2. And the most
Right,
baller
okay.
thing about all of this is he did obviously return to basketball in real life. So in March of 1995, he returned. And how he did it, it's so boss and it's also so 1990s. His agent sent out a mass fax message to like across the league, and all it said was, quote unquote, "I'm back," signed from MJ. He faxed it across the world, across the United States, and just said, "I'm back." That's it.
Wow.
And to add to this mystery of it, when he left, they won 3 championships in a row, to give a context of how good he was. When he came back, they won another 3. So there's all this speculation of how many championships could he have won if he had just stayed even longer? Like, could it have been
Right.
7? Could it have been 8? Gosh only knows. And just the thing to wrap it up, there's there's conspiracies about everything. There's conspiracies about lawn fertilizer. There's conspiracies about this and that. Most people think that he retired because he wanted to, do something that was special, honoring his father, pursuing baseball, which ultimately didn't work out fully. But there's some population that also thinks it was a faked retirement. That was actually a gambling suspension by the league commissioner. Apparently he had a quite known gambling problem. And again, it just speaks to his absolute skill. But he would go out like in playoffs and go to like Atlantic City, stay out till like 2 a.m, gambling all kinds of money. And then he'd still even like play the same day and drop 40 points. Like, it's almost like he just needed some excitement and he got bored from being the best at something and just needed to. Anyway, there's a lot of addiction things going on.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
Even in his retirement speech, there was weird things that he said, like, people would ask, "Will you ever come back?" And he would say like, "Well, if the commissioner lets me come back, I might." And, just like, who knows why he left. And I get the human aspect of it was probably just something related to pleasing his father or honoring his father. But regardless, I just find it weird that this whole movie exists, that it is just such a parody of what actually happened as far as his retirement.
Yeah.
But
does he actually play golf?
That I don't know.
yeah.
Probably who does, rich people play golf. So,
Yeah. We do.
Well, yeah, that's true.
golf.
Actually, we do.
We have golfed together.
We have golf together.
Yeah.
You saying you're not
and then we golfed together.
Yeah.
And then went back to your place and gambled.
Wow, maybe we're the ones with the gambling problem.
Maybe it's time that we retire. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, okay.
I like this.
Yeah.
So what you've been waiting for. Go ahead.
Did he only ever play for the Bulls? Was that
no? I don't have the timeline in front of me. He obviously returned to the Bulls, and then there was some weird. Like, I think he officially had like a second retirement sometime down the line, but then came back and played with like a random ass team, like the Hornets or something. So,
Billy Bob's, whatever's. Okay, cool.
But essentially, the 99% of his dynasty was with the Bulls.
Can I say that? So before you give your impression, now, I have had an ember of hope that has. Like, I don't know how into the basketball component of this you are. I have had an ember of hope stoked in me.
Right.
Not a full blaze. We're not ready to go here entirely. But I'm feeling slightly optimistic.
Right. Space Jam blazing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
All right, what do we got?
Listen. You know me, I love me some 1990s nostalgia, and listen, I'm not going to tease you. It won out. I'm not saying I don't like it as much as you, and we'll get into it. There's a couple things, like this film has some flaws, or at least some things that were shortcomings to me, but even just the opening scene alone with I Believe I Can Fly, like, woo, such a good song. I loved the components where we've got like a shirtless, ripped Michael Jordan, but then he's like eating McDonald's fries and a drink in a hotel room. And it's just so 1990s. Like the fries are like spread open and by his phone and the TV. And it's just so fake, like props.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Product placement.
There's even just some super in tune references in this film. Like, well, I don't want to steal your thunder. There's the Ghostbusters one and things like that. We'll get into those ones. But the one that hit for me, there was a legitimate Pulp Fiction reference, which Pulp Fiction would have only been about 2 years old at the time. But there were two characters where the Miserlou song starts playing, the intro song from Pulp Fiction, and then you have two of these Looney Tunes dressed as like hitmen with sunglasses on and guns, like a la Samuel Jackson and Saturday Night Fever's very own John Travolta. So I mean, there were just like that alone for me, that little like 33-second blip that like won me over. I think if I was on the fence, that little reference just like absolutely just locked me in. But beyond that, there was some really good stuff.
Wow.
I hope you're happy.
I am tickled. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I'm looking up right now. I'm looking up a list of things that the movie references.
Oh, I'm glad you are. I'm glad you are.
And there's actually quite a list.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Frankenstein, obviously, as Michael Jackson's golf shot. As Michael Jackson's golf shot zigzags in its path to the hole, Bill Murray screams, "It is alive!" In the same manner as Professor Frankenstein. Yeah, we know that one.
Yep.
There's a bunch here I'm skipping over because they're like small, like super
right,
super obscure. Some of them are like self-referential Looney Tunes things.
Oh, okay, yeah. Which makes sense. I mean, if you kind of have to get those ones with being
and a lot of
film.
it is just like characters that showed up in the crowd.
Oh, okay.
Do Doctor Who?
Oh,
when the aliens from Moron Mountain are in disguise at the baseball game, they are wearing Tom Barker's scarf from Doctor Who.
I read something about that, yeah.
Some Star Trek, 2001: A Space Odyssey, Saturday Night Live, Caddyshack, Stripes, Ghostbusters. Yeah, the Ghostbusters one.
Yep.
The when he mistakes him for Dan Aykroyd.
Yes, I love that so much. I don't even remember exactly how they phrased it, but just it was incredible.
The Monstars do the famous arm wrestle handshake in the same way that it's done in the movie Predator.
No, wait. Oh, I missed that. I would have loved that.
Easter Bunny joke is a reference to the line, "Who'd you expect, Elmer Fudd?" From I don't know. Daffy calls the Jordan's family dog Beethoven, so there's that.
Oh, okay.
Daffy suggests naming the team the Ducks, and Bugs replies, "What kind of Mickey Mouse organization would name their team the Ducks?" Right. Which is obviously Disney's Mighty Ducks.
Yep.
And is like a jab at Disney, which is amazing.
I guess.
Pulp Fiction, like you said.
Oh. Which, I mean, it's funny how life can kind of coincide with real things. Like, shout out to friend of the show, Marshall, who I am so jealous of. In a couple days, he's going to like a theater that plays older films, and he's seeing Pulp Fiction on 35 millimeter reel film. So I thought it was coincidental that I just saw this reference, and then it also made me sad that I can't go see it as well. But yes.
That is the type of thing that only Marshall would know was even happening.
It's so true. It's so true.
Like whatever Reddit communities he's lurking around.
I will say he lives near a theater, so I think he's pretty involved with their Instagram account, so he can get some news and updates on what's happening.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Well, so let's do this.
Yeah.
How?
I don't know. I don't even know.
I mean, there are so many beautifully magical things about this movie. Okay. As you alluded to, the I Believe I Can Fly. There's the whole opening credits montage with game footage from Michael Jordan's career.
Right.
That's a lot of fun. Something that gets me, and I'm like, it gets me every time, and I don't know why I like it so much. But when the Monstars are, like before they become the Monstars, and they're on their way to Looney Tune Land, or even as Michael Jordan's getting sucked in there, just the fact that like, that somewhere within the earth is where this is happening, is where the Looney Tunes are, and that the entrance to their realm or their world is a giant Warner Brothers logo, and that
right,
and that everything, that all of their cartoons are live broadcasts. The fact that Porky Pig is able to come interrupt the cartoon to say we're having an important town meeting, and so then they leave and literally the screen is left empty and the kids are like, where'd they go? Like,
yeah,
there's something so good about that. And then just, it's fun seeing, because there's cartoon logic and then there's Looney Tune logic. And what's great about the Looney Tunes is they have their own physics. They have their own laws of nature. And so seeing those applied to Michael Jordan while he's in Toontown or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But then also seeing the characters, like when Bugs and Daffy go to Michael's house to get his sneakers and his shorts and stuff like that, seeing them interact with that world in that sense is a lot of fun. So like seeing them go under the grass and the grass is like bulging up as they tunnel through the ground. Or the fact that then without any digging or any breaking or any hatcheting or whatever, Bugs is able to come up under the runner mat in the hallway. Because in a cartoon, that's what you would be able to do.
Right.
And so just stuff like that, I think is sort of this collection of extremely magical moments that are peppered throughout this movie and give it so much of its charm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you surprised that you liked this movie?
I think...
Like, did you go into it doubting it?
Oh, big time. I think I've tried to watch it once before and I just wasn't feeling it.
Right.
I think why I was surprised by liking it was I think there was a lot more adult humor than I was anticipating. And I think that's the majority wise why I liked it, and maybe a little bit of a shortcoming, and I'll get to what I mean. So obviously I liked Bill Murray. I thought he was incredible.
Yeah.
And I like him to begin with. So, that was destined to succeed. I don't mean this as a slight, but like I almost enjoyed him in this as much or more than Ghostbusters, just because when he was in it, it was magical, right?
Yeah. The fact that he shows up for the final play.
Yeah.
And just kind of
it's
like,
just
for no reason.
And just like he has this bit throughout the whole film about wanting to be in the NBA, and like no one will give him.
The NBA needs him.
Yeah. And I just thought it was well done. The only thing I would say is I needed more of that. I was thirsty for more. So, I mean, maybe you could say, Pete, you're wrong. It's best to just, have a little bit, enough more than too much and have it be saturated. But I was greedy. I could have done with more. But yeah, I loved the adult humor, whether it was Bill Murray, whether it was just even in the baseball scenes where like, all those people are like, Michael Jordan looks great in a uniform. You can't teach that. Or thanks for autographing that poster for my kid. Or, don't swing, a curveball's coming. Like all these little things that I actually appreciated and enjoyed and I thought were great. And yeah, I guess as far as a shortcoming from a film, I would say it isn't the perfect sweet spot for me. Like I'm using Shrek as the gold standard, where there's, I'd say 50% as much for the kids as the adults. And like there's there's equal entertainment. I feel for me on the scale, it was still slightly towards the kids, just with the Looney Tunes aspect. But, you know, it was close to being to that 50-50 good ratio. And I could have just done with a little bit more and I would have thought it was better. But I don't have faults with it. I was entertained by it. I enjoyed what I saw.
I think it's time for me to rewatch the Shrek movies, honestly.
I should be careful when I say that because I'm holding it in my mind as this gold standard. And to me, that's the first movie I remember where it was, okay, we've got something for both the audiences. So I guess at least as far as being groundbreaking, it's the gold standard. Whether it holds up is the next question.
The first one is fantastic.
Sure.
The second one's great. The third one I've never made it through, and the fourth one's okay.
Right.
And that's sort of but I would be curious, to see if that holds up.
Right.
It's been like 10 years since I've watched any of them.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I've wondered, I'd be curious to go back and watch certain Looney Tunes cartoons in general and see, like, I was picking up things that the Looney Tunes were doing.
Oh, okay.
Independent from our live action characters. And I was feeling like, wow, there's some adult humor in here.
There definitely was.
And I'm wondering if that's always been the case. It's been so long since, like, you know, with the odd exception, like I've watched things like The Barber of Seville and stuff like that, like old Looney Tune, Bugs Bunny cartoons that are like so iconic that, you know, that everybody knows them. But it's been a long time since I've watched any, and for the most part, certainly haven't watched many or any of them as an adult. And so, I'd be so curious. And the thing that got me thinking this was like, when Bugs first meets Lola and she kisses him and leaves, like that's her, she kisses him on the cheek or whatever and takes off, and Bugs falls over, he like faints from it. And then his body like goes like a board. He goes stiff as a board. And part of me goes, okay, well, yeah, that's just cartoon logic. Like that is just something that happens. You know, you see that happen in cartoons all the time. And I'm like, and then watching it back this time, I was like, that's erection symbolism. But it totally is. The fact that Lola kisses him on the cheek and he blushes, falls over, and goes stiff as a board,
right,
is a wink at the parents. but even like I had to say it before you clued in because you're like, yeah, it's stiff as a board. Like it's, I don't know, it's Looney Tune logic.
Sure.
Right? That's what happens. An anvil drops on you, you go flat as a pancake. Like it's the same thing, right? And so I'd be curious to go back and watch and see how much of that is actually peppered throughout. How many of Bugs's fourth wall breaks are things that would have completely gone over the heads of us as kids and were actually directed towards the adults.
Yeah, so, for sure.
Yeah, curious. Talk to me. Tell me more. I'm so intrigued.
Well, okay. I don't want to deflate things here, but I want to talk out if I have a problem with this story arc, and I think I do. I also maybe think I've got an answer for it. But if so, I think I wanted it explained a bit more to me or shoved a bit more in my face. But just talking out loud with the whole story of Michael Jordan in this. So in this film, aside from why he retired in real life, but in this film, Jordan is with his friends, the Looney Tunes, and they're facing defeat. Okay, you're with me. Okay. He's trying to encourage them, saying, you know, you guys didn't need this magic water, quote unquote. You always had it in you. You know, the courage was in you all the time. That the ability was within you all the time. And I guess my question is, we see a storyline where Michael Jordan is pulled from his own world, helps others, but I was expecting a bit more of that retrospective to occur, where what he has or what he tells other people also comes true for himself or has more of a profound impact on him. So I guess all that we saw as a story, I feel like he didn't really grow as a character or change as a character. And I was just expecting there to be some kind of connection at the end of the film where, whether it was with baseball or whether it was with his life or something, that, you know, he would have helped them win that game and then walked by a mirror, looked in the mirror and said, hey, you know, like what I just said for them is same for me. And, you know, it's going to help me be not just be good at baseball, but maybe if you realize he doesn't want baseball or he wants to spend more time with his kids, or, you know, just something like that. And when that didn't happen, I didn't have a problem with it, but it just felt like, you know, Jordan didn't grow as a character, change as a character through this. So I was just kind of felt that was maybe a bit of a missed opportunity. And the only thing,
I mean, the growth.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, like, the growth in this movie definitely belongs to the Looney Tunes, right?
Sure.
And their ability to, you know, kind of like this underdog story in some ways. But Michael Jordan's story is very much one of, and for better or worse, it is very much one of like, this guy is born to play basketball. Right. That's established from the very first scene. And then he gets blinded by some fog and moves away from it, goes to play baseball, which his motives in this for doing it are also very unclear or feel weak.
Oh yeah. Big time.
And then ultimately, like, he doesn't have growth. He just kind of like rediscovers his path, course corrects back to what he's supposed to be doing. And I don't know if that's like, you know, I don't know if that's the right message to send. Like, I think it's a very bare bones, simple narrative that we've seen. It feels like the narrative sort of from a kid's movie, where it's not this big like complex conflict with growth and whatever else. It's just very much like, hey, he's the best basketball player in the world, and now he's playing baseball, and of course he's not good at it because he's a basketball player, and he needs this game with the Looney Tunes to remind him of that so he can go play basketball. And that's kind of it. That is the extent of the depth to his story.
Right. For better or worse.
For better or worse.
Yeah. And, you know, I mean, like, I don't fundamentally have a big issue with that. I think I just could have done with a little bit more of a bow at the end where he just, whether he said, you know, it's just that he has struggles at the beginning. You know, he's coming home and, you know, he's had a bad day and, you know, he's not sure if he's succeeding. And I think I just would have preferred him saying to himself, you know what, basketball is I had this in me all the time. And I know we see him playing at the end of the film, so it's implied. I think I just would have had him say it explicitly aloud.
Yeah. Yeah. Or which, I mean, also could have just been strengthened if the proper motive for quitting was there.
Sure. Yeah, that's true.
Like if we understood he's like down on himself for some reason and that's why he's quitting. Whereas this, he was literally like, yeah. I think I might play baseball for a while.
Right.
Like
that's actually true. Actually, that's a really good point. And I think that furthers my distaste for maybe what happened. And you're kind of leading me to go, no, I think I've got a problem with it. But it's not a big enough problem that it ruined the film for me.
No, I mean, because like at the end of the day, yeah, you're not watching Space Jam for like a motivational story. You're watching it for fun. Yeah. And it's fun. Right? It's a fun movie.
What I will say is another jumping topics, but it is a fun movie. It's incredible that some athletes, when they are in film, are just awkward and not very natural, and just it's like a square peg and a round block and they just don't fit and they don't gel. I have to say, Michael Jordan was very watchable in this film. Like he was funny. He played his role well. He can act.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen the new Space Jam, so I can't comment on LeBron James in that capacity. But I've seen him in one film. I think it was a romantic comedy called Trainwreck, and he was funny in it, in a very subtle role. So I think it's just an interesting concept when athletes who are not actors by trade can act, or at least can act well enough. And specifically with this film, not only did he hold his own, but I feel like this was kind of like in the early days of actors acting with cartoon representations, and like he didn't look weird or out of place or foolish at any points as far as what the product was on the screen. So I feel like kudos to him. And
I mean, they're definitely... Sorry, go ahead.
The only thing I want to finish on that is like, I don't know what other film I want to see Michael Jordan in, but like, cause you can't have him, being in, Fast and Furious 7 or Lord of the Rings or anything, but I do want to see him in another film, and I maybe there's just not the market for that, but it was entertaining.
I think you could, I don't know, like Lord of the Rings, but I don't know. Would seeing him in a Fast and the Furious movie be that ridiculous?
Sure, actually, that's true.
Like, really, if you're going to, or something stupid like, another Expendables movie or something.
Right. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Something where like you're expecting stupidity already. Mm-hmm. Do you know, speaking of like athletes who can act, do you know who is really good in movies and is very funny every time I've seen him?
Who?
Shaq.
Yeah. He's
hilarious.
He's got a comedic element to his craft for sure.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah. I mean, I think my finishing notes are that I love this movie through and through. Like,
sure.
It's fun. It pushes. So like, take how you feel about this movie.
Right.
And then tack on a strong nostalgia factor.
Oh, sure. Yes. Yep.
And that's kind of where I fall, right?
Yep.
Is like all of the merits that this film has, plus I grew up on it, plus I was always a Looney Tunes more than I was a Mickey Mouse. Like, I'll choose Bugs over Mickey every day of the week.
Sure.
And definitely I will choose Daffy over Donald every day of the week. Donald Duck is just irritating.
Sure.
Just irritating. But yeah, so it's kind of a perfect storm for me. And it's funny because I'm not a sports person, but
that's the confusing, not the confusing, but the surprising part of this, right?
Yeah.
Because it's, yeah.
But much like I was saying, do you remember like 3 weeks ago, where I was saying like, hey, I want to play some baseball. Like, let's get some people to get. We were at Value Village the other day, and Brienne bought a glove because of this. Yeah,
nice.
And we've got a bat. Like,
oh boy,
I was just serious about this. We're gonna have the Movie Men baseball
Sandlot edition.
Yeah. It'd be a lot of fun.
I think so too. We should play by a cornfield.
Yeah, I mean the ball diamonds in our hometown kind of have, they're near cornfields and stuff, right? They're kind of near the country. I guess there's like subdivisions and stuff there now, but they used to be near like cornfields. But yeah, no, but having said that, and I'm a 5'6.5". Like, I'm not playing basketball successfully anytime soon.
Right.
But I watch this, I watch a movie like this and I'm like, but I could have some basketball fun.
Right.
Like, I could go to a high school gym with some friends, or like, schoolyards. They've got those like outdoor concreted into the ground
with like chains.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, chains and dead bodies and stuff. I was like, I could do that. And so it's inspiring. It's an inspiring movie. Yeah. Do you have any closing thoughts?
No, I think we've hit it all. We've definitely hit it all.
Then 0 to 10, sir. How do you feel about the 1996 film Space Jam?
Perfect. I gave it a 6 out of 10. I think I need to watch it again. I won't need to do it in the near future, but I could see myself, if I'm with someone who hasn't seen it, the mood was right, or if enough time passes. If I was around someone who was nostalgic about it and said, Pete, let's watch it again, I'd go, sure, let's do it. And I think, maybe I'll warm up to it at that point. But, it's higher than a 5, and I respect it, and that still is respectable.
Did you watch it with the missus?
This is weird. I watched, you'll know me. I watched films kind of blocked in segments.
Oh my God.
So the answer is I watched parts of it with her, and she grew up with it. And
right. So it was fun for her.
It was fun for her. And this might be one of the first times, but I also watched parts of it with my 2.5-year-old who loved it.
Wow.
Because there's the Looney Tunes.
That makes me happy.
There's the Looney Tunes component, right? So
right. Was she familiar with the Looney Tunes?
No, not really. But she was just intrigued by these
bright colored cartoon animals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So
cool.
6 out of 10 on my own individual scale. How much effort? I wouldn't need to go to see it in a theater. But if it was, in the context of if this existed in 1996 and I was an adult in this is a breakdown. My point is, I would pay premium access if this was released on Disney Plus and Disney Plus said, Pete, you got to pay $30 to watch this. I'd go, yeah, that's worth it. I'd watch it. I'd pay $30. I'd watch it.
Wow.
And I'd say, yeah, I don't mind spending that money. That was entertaining. I wasn't disappointed. A couple things I would have changed, but overall, I enjoyed it. So. I was pleased.
That's so interesting. I was actually thinking about that because I know you've got that effort ranking system thing. And I was like, it's also not a movie that I feel like I would need to see or really benefit much from seeing in the theater. Mm-hmm. But it would make a great drive-in movie.
Oh yes, yeah, I'd agree that.
Like the opener at the drive-in, right? With the kids and stuff, and French fries, and sitting outside of the car and stuff. Oh yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
it would totally checks that box. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, do you have any news for us this week?
Did you want to know how I ranked it?
I am so sorry. Oh my gosh. I was like, I was listening and I'm like, why is I feel awful. I didn't ask how you were feeling this week. I didn't even ask how you scored this film.
You don't care about me.
Well, and like I said, thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll see you next week. No, Brady, what this film means so much to you. What does it score out of 10? I truly do care. I am so sorry.
I give it an 8.3.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not without flaws. And I don't know, again, like I can't, having grown up on it, I'm certainly biased. But all of that aside, it's still, I think it's solid. Like I think for what it is, when you put it up against some of the things that we've gotten that are in a similar vein, like Smurfs movies and stuff like that.
Oh. Yeah.
This is how this should be the template.
Right.
This is how you do it right. And I don't know if it would work today. It worked in the the 90s. And I do think if you get a chance, Looney Tunes Back in Action is good. Like I said, Brendan Fraser, Steve Martin, it's solid. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, it's just good. It's just a good all around film. So yeah,
8.3 is solid. 8.3 is solid.
Yeah, I do have some news that we'll rapid fire through here.
Beauty.
So the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial has officially begun. Yeah. So we've had, some people are going to say, well, what do you mean? Hasn't this been going on forever? Well, yes and no. So the incidents in question that the accusations are from 6 years ago now.
Oh, geez. 6
years ago. And there's been some civil suits and stuff like that. One that happened in the UK and blah, blah, blah. But the actual Johnny Depp suing Amber Heard for defamation is now underway. I've actually spent part of the day watching the court case live.
Jeez.
And it's just this long, grueling, back and forth. And either way, look, I don't know who's going to win this. I don't know who's going to win this. I know who I believe, and I'm not going to disclose that because it ultimately doesn't matter. But I will say that regardless of who wins or how this unfolds, I do hope to see both of them, especially, I'm going to say particularly Johnny, and that's not a hint at who I believe, but I'm just a bigger Johnny Depp fan. I want to see them doing movies again, man. I want to see Johnny in some new movies. I want to see him team up with Tim Burton. I want to see him caked in makeup in some kind of can't believe it's even him role.
Right.
That's I just want it. And I want Amber to be doing films as well, right? She's got the Aquaman movies and stuff like that.
Right.
So I just want to see. I do think it'll be really interesting, and I want to know your thoughts on this. What happens if the court ruling and the public's perception moving forward is that Johnny is innocent and that Amber Heard made up this malicious story, yet Warner Brothers has asked him to resign and have now replaced him in this massive franchise with Mads Mikkelsen. You can't turn around and just recast him, can you?
I don't think so.
You can't be like, what? Just kidding. But it would still be really unfortunate for, Warner Brothers needs to issue a statement at that point, I'm thinking.
You would think.
Right, saying, look, we suck.
Right.
We're sorry.
Right.
And I don't know. Like I said, I don't know who's innocent. I don't know who's guilty.
No. Yeah.
But it would be an interesting, because I don't think she's lost any roles. She's still doing Aquaman movies and stuff. He hasn't been in anything. So it'll be interesting to see what happens and how this plays out. Yeah. Next up, finally, this is the last time I want to talk about it. Will Smith has received a 10-year ban from attending the Oscars. What are your thoughts?
10 seems a little excessive. And I feel like I can say that without weighing in on who I thought was right and who was wrong. I just feel like 10 years is a long time. And yeah, I guess my initial impression was, dang, that seems a little excessive, but I guess they had their reasons, and again, maybe they had more information behind the curtain than we did. That we went into this in detail, but maybe they asked him to leave, or maybe there was other confrontations that amplified why they felt 10 years was appropriate. So,
yeah.
Do you think, what was your thought on 10 years?
Here's a hot take.
Yeah.
This is not a punishment.
Really?
Because if you read into the details of this,
okay,
he's not precluded from Oscar consideration.
No, what
they've basically said is, look, Will, you can still win Oscars. You can still attend the after party.
Yeah.
You can still do all of this stuff. You're just not allowed to come sit through the 5-hour ceremony anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But you can still win Oscars, and you can still go to the parties, and you are unaffected except for the fact that you cannot come sit in this 5-hour ceremony anymore, which is the least of his concerns, because studios are canceling films with him, postponing, pausing, shelving, whatever, left, right, and center.
Yeah.
That is the legacy, and the trickle effect is going to be the punishment. The fact that people are going to not want to work with him is going to be a financial blow. It's going to be a blow to his career, his reputation.
Oh, big time.
But as far as what the Oscars, as far as what the Academy has chosen to do, it's nothing.
Counterpoint, and I that's an interesting point that you make, that I think you're probably right. But what I would say is, I think there's a few factors that you'd have to evaluate and actually put some numbers on them to determine if it's a big enough deal or not. But if you say, okay, it's a known fact that if someone wins an Oscar, it adds this many dollars to their net worth, and, this many dollars on average to the gross earnings of the film, because it brings attention to it. So I guess I would just say, for 10 years, if he physically can't be there, in this scenario, I think you're right, it might blackball him. So I don't think it's going to be a load of Oscar nominations coming his way because of what's gone down. But just in a hypothetical, say even if he does get some Oscar nominations, is that winning, and he wins, is that winning then less lucrative by him not being there in person to collect the award? Is it less lucrative for the film winning, is him not being there to collect the award? And will that have a trickle down effect as far as his net worth and his future earnings? And maybe by the time you actually hash that out, it would be negligible and really wouldn't influence it. Or maybe if it did, it would be just like a small percentage. But I would just say there's maybe some aspects to it that, yes, it's just a ceremony, but him not being there can also have some influence. And even just like as a professional, yes, it's one thing for us to say, wow, this is a boring thing to watch on TV for 5 whole hours. Like, we'll just tune into things that we want. If this was our jobs, like if you are an actor, like this is the Super Bowl of Super Bowls. This is the one thing that you do as a profession to celebrate each other. Like, even just from rubbing shoulders alone, I'm sure it has some value as far as staying relevant, as far as making connections for future projects. And even just, I think it's more so towards nominees and winners, but just even like the gift baskets that these guys get isn't just like $2 cologne and a bag of chips. Like, I guess I'm just saying there's probably measurable things that he would lose out on by not going there. Whether it's measurable enough to be too severe or not, then yeah, I guess that's a different story, right?
Yeah. And only time will tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gilbert Gottfried passed away.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah.
That
67, which is not old.
I think he was fighting some illness, and
Yeah. What is your favorite Gilbert Gottfried, either memory or role? Or
I think he falls into one of those acting categories that I don't have a ton of films that I like him for. It was more just like a personality that I would see in bits or on TV. I think he was the parrot in Aladdin, if I'm correct.
Yeah, he's Iago.
So if that's the case, then that's probably the answer. That would be the most memorable role for me.
I would say it's the most memorable role for me. Mm-hmm. But then, yeah, definitely like his stand-up routine and just his character in general, right? Because that's not actually how he talks, except for in every movie, stand-up show, or public appearance. Because that is a character that he took on. He's like that Norman Rodney guy, or not Rodney Norman, the world's worst motivational speaker that's always popping up on your Facebook timeline or whatever, where he's like the crazy white-haired guy with the beard who seems completely spaced out. Do you know the guy I mean?
I have no clue.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to send you stuff. Yeah, I'll send you stuff.
Sure.
But yeah, so he just like, he had committed to, or Bobcat Goldthwait, right? Like he just committed to this character as part of his public image. And it's fun, as you know, there's not a lot of people like that. Finally, Tom Cruise related news.
Your favorite kind of news.
Top Gun related news.
What?
Lord of the Rings related news.
Say what?
So, in an interview, this has been confirmed. This sounds so outrageous, but it's been confirmed. For the new Top Gun movie, which comes in at 1 hour and 50 minutes. So kind of short.
Yeah.
By today's standards.
Sure.
The director shot... Now, so, I mean, okay, so there's a quote here, right? Like, it's a Tom Cruise movie and it's Top Gun, so, like, they're not green screening this. Like, they are going up and shooting aerial footage in jets. It's not CGI, it's not, you know, whatever. This is jets. They're flying jets around and filming it. He says, out of a 12 or 14-hour day, you might get 30 seconds of good footage. But it was so hard-earned. It took a very long time to get it all. Months and months of aerial shooting. For the new Top Gun Maverick movie, they shot 800 hours of footage.
Holy man.
Which is as much as the entire amount of footage, not even used, but footage shot for all 3 Lord of the Rings films combined.
Gee golly.
I mean...
Golly Bob howdy.
800 hours for a film that's going to come in at just under 2 hours.
Right.
At what point is the film just no longer worth it? And I mean that genuinely.
Sure.
Like if I pull it up here, Top Gun. So the first Top Gun movie had a budget of $15 million.
Wow, okay.
Made $357 million at the box office.
Sure.
This film has a budget of $152 million, up from 15 with the first one.
Right.
And it's going to crush the box office. Sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But come on. Come on.
What
are you doing?
Who are we to question the artistic process of Tom Cruise?
I will tell you who. Like, I just, you know, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. It's 800 hours is absurd.
That's a lot.
It's absurd. I want to do some math here. 800 divided by 24. That is 33 days.
Yep.
If you were to turn a camera on and just not shut it off for 33 days, That's how much footage they have, which means that's how much footage they have to go through.
That's a lot of man hours just to determine
Shot in
what
IMAX.
Oh,
Shot in IMAX.
dang.
IMAX file size. Because again, this is crazy to me. How big are IMAX? Okay, So we are looking at 60 times is divided by just in footage alone. Just in footage alone, we're looking at 36 terabytes of footage.
Jeez.
I can't even. Anyways, that's my news for this week. Stupid. It's not even going to be that good.
I'm more excited for it now. I'm not going to lie after you've told me that.
Why?
I visually, I think the story will be less, but
Yeah, well, nobody cares.
well, I do care because the first film's not about the pilot jets and the volleyball scenes. It's about the story. It's about the relationship between Goose and Maverick. That is what drives the story. And this new film will not come anywhere near that. But what this film will do is improve on what the 1980s film couldn't do and have visually stunning and visually cutting edge visuals that make me feel like I'm in the sky. So this is the type of film where I am going to make a point of seeing it in a good theater that, fully embraces this ability. So I think that's what excites me about that.
Did you know Val Kilmer's in it?
No, I was shocked by that.
Because he's not well, right?
No, he's not.
He just released a documentary where he's not well. At all. But okay. Anyways, what'd you watch this week, sir?
I only watched one film. I watched the 2000.
Slacker. Sorry. Sorry. I don't know what that was.
Cough.
Just a cough.
I watched the 2005 Ridley Scott Kingdom of Heaven.
Okay, never seen it.
I've seen it before. It's got, talking about a cast, if we were talking about Attack on Mars, this film has Orlando Bloom, Liam Neeson, Edward Norton, Jeremy Irons, Brendan Gleeson, and then a few other fringe faces that people would recognize. It's got Vesper from Casino Royale. It's got a ton of faces. It's one of those films that I had seen many times, but not for a while, and I always held it in a high regard, and I watched it again to see if it was as incredible as I remembered. It's a historical piece. I always thought that's what Ridley Scott's MO was, and then I realized he does a bunch of sci-fi too, but it's a Crusade period piece, and after some time watching it again, it's not great. The more digging I did historically, it's incredibly inaccurate. The storyline that Ridley Scott kind of put forward was super rigid and flat, and it's obviously clear, from the storyline that's in place and also the historical inaccuracy, that Ridley Scott obviously had some type of maybe agenda or political agenda that he was trying to get across. So it's got some soundtrack moments that are good, and it's got some acting moments that are good, but it definitely didn't hold up. So I gave it a 5 out of 10. It's got some things I like, but definitely some things that weighed it down. And the 5 might be even a bit of nostalgia playing in that, if I just watched it today, it might have been scored lower, but because I had seen it so many times, I was a bit easier scoring it. So
right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But that is what I watched this week. What did you watch this week?
3 things. 3 actual, 3 movies.
Okay.
And then, Boy Meets World and whatever else.
Yep.
Number 1 is a movie I'd seen a couple times before, maybe even in the theater. For some reason. But Crazy Stupid Love.
Oh.
Which we've reviewed.
Now you're pulling a Pete and you're plugging an old ep.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't listen to it though.
Why not?
Screw that.
Listen, it's a good ep and it's a great film.
Is it though? Like, how do you even, like, what episode number is it? I don't even know when that was.
Oh, if I was a betting man, I'd say it's probably 20 or less.
Well, maybe if you were a betting man, you'd have to go play baseball instead.
Right.
Of basketball.
Well,
yeah.
We can agree that it's an incredible film.
It's a great film. Yeah. So which then by virtue must be a great episode.
Well,
like by extension, I'm sure it is.
Episode
so I
20.
Watched that.
Episode 20.
You see, you said under 20, less than 20. So you're wrong. You don't even know. You didn't even know.
I didn't even know.
What else did I watch? Oh, so I watched a movie on Netflix. And this is unusual. This is like a movie. This is like something you would say. Huh. I watched a German-Swiss film.
What?
On Netflix. It was in English, but it's like shot in right. Or the director is or whatever.
Yeah.
Called The Colony.
The Colony. Huh.
And I think it's 2021. It's about 2 hours long. It's kind of like the original Planet of the Apes, sort of in the sense that like, well, yes and no. It's only in the sense that like we're 200 years in the future or something, and astronauts are coming back to Earth to see if it's now safe to re-inhabit.
Oh, neat.
Right? Kind of like the original, like Planet of the Apes way back in the day.
Yeah.
Right? And so, they come back. Everyone's living on this planet like Kepler 229 or something. And so they come back and they're like, and there aren't monkey people here, but there are survivors from the war or from the fallout or from like whatever happened, but they're like mud people now, just in the sense that they're very savage, like they've come up with their own new sort of primal language and like, it's yeah. Anyways, it's about 2 hours long, and at the hour and a half mark, we shut it off.
Oh.
For the same reason, listen, I don't think this film is as bad as Lost in Translation.
Oh.
But I shut it off for the same reason. Because the person I was watching it with, we looked at each other. It was kind of one of those like, okay, I've got an early morning, but we're going to watch this movie anyways. And if it were a great movie, then it would have been worth it. We would have stuck it out. Mm-hmm. But at the hour and a half mark, 75% of the way through, we looked at each other and we're like, what is the plot of this movie? Like, has anything happened yet? And that was genuinely like, what has happened in this movie? And it was like, nothing has happened. There isn't anything nothing has happened. And so we're like, okay, this is stupid, and we shut it off. So I would not recommend it. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it, but I would be curious for you to watch it.
Sure.
Yeah. And then finally, another movie I hadn't seen, but it's a Disney movie that I hadn't seen. I watched Tuck Everlasting.
Oh.
Have you seen it?
Is it from like the 90s or early 2000s?
I think it's like early 2000s. Yeah.
I watched it once in grade school. So no doubt the teacher pulled it in like a wagon with a TV on it and the class lost its mind.
And I think maybe I did too, but I have like almost zero recollection of it.
Right.
Like of the movies we watched in school, it was like the least memorable.
Sure.
It's fun and entertaining. I've got some big issues with it.
Okay.
like some big issues with it. And if we ever review it for an episode, I
Sure.
would be excited to lay those on you because it's more issues than I can, more issues than can be a part of what we watched this week segment. So, but
Cool.
yeah, it's okay. It's
I'm
okay. I
intrigued.
would watch it again.
Right.
But yeah, cool. Well, wrap it up, sir.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for partaking in our vote, and look forward to our future votes where you can join in on the fun. Check out our Patreon page, our merchandise page. Help support the show. Help us give you some perks back for supporting the show. Like, follow, subscribe wherever you can, and rate and review wherever you can, and leave us a like and a comment, and we'd love hearing back from you. And until next time, where we have a new release.
That was so stiff. That was so like, I don't know. It's like do you have that written out? It's like you're reading from a script and it's just very like, it lacks.
Let me just turn.
You need to inject some peat into it.
Let me just turn the page. No, that is not read off a page.
Wow. Talk about a contingency.